itsmintsalad and I saw Okja. It is directed by Bong Joon-ho, written by Bong Joon-ho and Jon Ronson. And if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. This came out in 2017. Do you remember this coming out? Let me know in the comments below, or with the review. This movie starts, we're following a big old corporation. They're unveiling this big secret project that they're doing to stop world hunger. Okay? Too many people, not enough food. We got a solution for that. Let's create 26. What was the number exactly? 26. Okja, is that you? I hear a rustle in the bushes. No, it's just a cat. I wish it was Okja. Anyway, 23 pigs. 23 pigs, 26 pigs. How many number? Put it right here. Please let me know. Anyway, that many pigs, they be like, we're pigging out, and we're really big. We're mutant pigs. They're being sent to different farmers, and in 10 years, they'll be collected. And then 10-year time skip, we're seeing a face of a young lady. She seems to be in her teens, and also there's this really massive pig, and my first thought was, wow, that looks like a dog. I didn't know pigs could look like dogs, but this one sure does. I mean, it doesn't have the curly tail like those stereotypical pigs do, and it has like really floppy ears like a golden retriever. I don't know anything about pigs. I've never seen a pig in real life, so I don't know what a pig actually looks like. Do they have them curly tails? This young lady's name? Miha. Okja and Miha. And they're friends. And they're just hanging out in nature alongside this mountain. And we have the grandpa of this Miha. Her parents are dead. I love it, okay? They have a nice, quaint relationship just at the very top of this mountain. And I want to be at the top of that mountain. I want to be able to have a pig that's big, a big, super futuristic pig. And I want it to be my friend. And I also want to make food and catch fish for fish stew, and then eat that fish stew. And man, I really want to eat on the floor. I'm like a floor eater. Like, I'm totally down for this lifestyle, okay? I love this mountain that they're on. It's so beautiful. I just want to be there. It looks pretty. Well, anyway, of course, the 10 years has come up. The grandpa is like, I can't tell her what's about to happen. I gotta just buy a golden pig because he said that he bought it and then couldn't buy it because it's the prettiest one out of all of them. All of them look like trash except for this one. And they need this Okja for the beauty pageant. And I'm like, oh boy, oh geez. How are you gonna get Okja out of this natural habitat? Well, you gotta distract Miha, give her a golden pig. She's mad and angry. She's really angry. I would be too. I get it. She wasn't raised at all. So wasn't I. So her immediate reaction is to run. So was I when I was her age. So I get it. I get her perspective. I also understand the perspective of Okja just being tooketh and not knowing where you're going. So I understand both of their perspectives. And immediately I'm like, oh man, I feel for them. Miha's gonna get him. Is gonna make sure that they get him. We gotta get Okja. We gotta catch up to him. Oh wow. I love her ways of trying to catch up to the semi-truck trailer, okay? And Miha, oh man, she is so fast. She's so fast like Sonic. She just runs through the city. Run! Hitches a ride on top of the trailer and is just hitching a ride. And then the frickin' driver of this trailer questionably has a license. He's going through the tiniest tunnels, and so Miha has to be on the back. And then there's another group. It's an animal activist group, and they're trying to stop Okja, and it's lovely. Okay, so they ram right into a tunnel, and then they stop the semi-truck. Frickin' Miha is just hurting. And I'm like, oh no, I hope you don't have road burn. I don't know how fast you were going in those tunnels, but uh-oh, it looks like you're injured. And also Okja gets out, and then Okja and Miha reunite, and then I'm like, whoa, I was not expecting this. I was honestly expecting them to go to America, right? The animal activist group has Okja and Miha, and they're talking to them. Hey, we gotta go into that lab, right? And there's a translator there because she only speaks Korean. They only speak English. But we have Steven Yeun's character. He speaks Korean and English, and they're translating. Here's one fatal mistranslation, and this is why you never mistranslate. He was like, oh, she totally said that it's okay to take Okja to the place But she said, return her to the mountains. And there's this like really good guy. There's this really good guy. He's the head honcho. He's the leader of this animal activist group. And I honestly was like a little bit suspicious of him at the very beginning. But he's so good that when eventually they take Okja to the lab, they have a little camera that they install. They have a little data in the ear. And what's fun is that there's a camera there and it sees what's happening. It's recording all this stuff and something horrifying happens. Whoa, 2 super pigs bred for food that are huge? The biggest ones are mating? What? What? That's scary. No, it's not scary at all. It's exactly what I expected. But I don't think the reactions of the animal activist group really match. I think it's honestly, out of the entirety of the movie, this part kind of had the most questions for me. The other parts of the movie is good, but this part right here, I was like, they're going to breed. That's obvious. That's not the terrible part. Save your reactions for later when something worse actually does happen. Stop overreacting. And then here's the part in which Steven Yeun's character gets caught. He's like, you know, I actually mistranslated. And then the head honcho is like, dude, what the heck? We shouldn't have sent that pig into that laboratory. And this is all your fault. Couldn't have happened at all in the first place if it wasn't for you. And then he gets beat up and he's like, you're banned, but first I need to use you. You should have saved the banning for after he's gone. You should have some sort of false sense of security so he would like work with you willingly. But now he's just being like hecka slow. But I'm just like thinking the cable disconnected from the camera that was on the computer. So the footage is not recording, right? Or is the footage on the black box? And then the feed is being transmitted to their computer? Is that what's happening here? Like the actual video recording is on that black box. So he just disconnected the feed because they asked him, because animal mating is torture. That's not the torturous part though. I do like having a look at the business side, and the head honcho business lady, she's actually good. She's like, oh my goodness, my security officers are trying to take down this lady because she's running through the subway system with Okja, and they're causing a huge mess, right? Oh, it's horrible. These freaking security guards are after her, and I'm just thinking, dude, why you gotta go after her this much? Like, why you gotta go after this freaking pig so much? I mean, she got the pig, but she's looking at the news coverage of it, and it's like, this is horrible. Man, I hate this so much. Get her here. We need to treat her right, okay? And I'm like, wow, this is actually incredibly nuanced, because these people are the reason that Okja is created and whatever, but they're also the reason why they're taking Okja as well. And so I was like, oh, they're the really big, bad, evil guys. But no, they're like human nuance. There's human nuance, and they're really just looking out for her because it's PR nightmare. Honestly, it's for their best interest. And now they have this beauty pageant. Also, there is this correspondence guy, this TV host man. It's like if Mr. Beast went out and was working for Big Food instead of Big Feastival. I guess it's also food. There's that guy. He's bitter and angry that he's being removed as the head figure of this company. He's like, I'm angry. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get really drunk. I'm gonna spend the night with Okja, and I have this like meat take her out gun. It takes her meat out while she's alive. Why is this still a thing? Why does this exist? I hate this. If animals can feel pain, I'm sure they can. I wouldn't want them to. I'd want them to get shot and then harvest their muscles because it's more humane. They won't know that I'm harvesting their living tissue. I mean, she has the best, and I mean the best meat. They literally like sizzled some of her meat and then gave it to some execs. They're like, wow, this is great. This is awesome. This is the best sausage I've ever had. This guy, unbeknownst to him, was being recorded by Okja. And then there's a beauty pageant that happens. And oh my goodness, the animal activist people are there. They have a very scary video in the very behind her. She's instructed not to look. What is that called? It's a projector, right? Behind this beautiful stage. And I want to be on that stage. And I want to like dance. Oh, there's a bunch of commotion. Honestly, that's what I wanted to do. Watching this, I'm like, oh, I want to dance on that stage. And distract everyone from animal abuse. Yay! I don't like animal abuse. Just to be clear, I'd be distracting them so they wouldn't have to endure the terrifying images behind. And I'm glad that Miha never looks back. Miha is running with Okja, and there's a bunch of cops after them. They get into the semi-truck, but like almost all of their dudes are gone. And then they're driving. They have a little drive. It's like, oh my goodness, they're having a little drive, right? Nope, not successful. I thought they were successful. Okja gets sent to a meat plant, about to get killed. Here is the best part of the movie. My favorite part of the movie. Freaking Miha gets to see the entire process of what it's like to kill a pig with the conditions they are in, the slaughterhouse aspect of it. And I was seeing this, I'm like, yes, I actually enjoy seeing the slaughterhouse. I didn't think I would enjoy seeing pigs get killed so much in this movie. That's the opposite message of this movie. I don't want Okja to get killed because I have a personal connection with Okja. I do want to see the other pigs get killed because they're not as pretty and I don't care about them. Neither do their previous owners. And so Okja is about to get shot. And then Miha's like, no! There's that big honcho head lady. She has a twin, an evil twin. That evil twin's now running things. She's like, no, I like money. Who is stopping this production? You're stopping this production, kill her. I forgot about this pig until the very end. When she takes it out of her bag, she's like, here, take this pig. Evil twin head honcho business lady. It's like, so these are worth a lot of money. I'm like, oh boy, how much money? 100% whole gold. How much money is that worth? I don't know anything about money or pigs or golden pigs or of any of their values. I do love that Okja is now walking home with Miha and then a nice, peaceful ending. Before they leave the plant though, a little tiny guy gets out. Okja hides the little guy in her mouth. They go back to the mountain and they're playing. It's so cute and so beautiful. We have the grandpa and Miha eating and the little guy is just chilling there. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is such a beautiful ending. Starts beautifully, ends beautifully. The middle makes me hate the American food industry. By the end of this movie, I would have hated the American food industry more if I hadn't already seen Food Inc. like several years ago. And that documentary blew my mind. I'm like, oh man, it makes me not want to eat. Oops. I do like to eat though. More meat, please. I'm a big fan of meat. I like meat. I prefer meat when it's not tortured though. I like this movie a lot. Oh my goodness. The CGI is so good. Okja looks great. The world interaction, like water, grass, just everything feels like a living object within the world. And there's so much emotion within the performances of everyone. And I'm a big fan of this movie. I'm so much of a big fan. So beautiful. If you haven't seen this movie, you gotta. The cinematography, the colors, the blocking, everything. I just have to say everything about this movie. Oh man, you know, there's that one thing though. The part where the pigs are breeding and they freak out a little bit. I was like, you don't have to freak out that much. How much of an animal activist are you? They're supposed to breed. Wouldn't you want them to be alive so they can breed more and produce more animals for you to love? Because of that point alone, but everything else about the movie is so good, I gotta give this movie like a 7.8 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. The platform really likes that. If you want to fast track a movie review, you can do that for $20 dinos at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews, go to this link tree, find the way you can help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews. So you can go here, and until next time, itsmintsalad, I'll see you later, my sad croutons and big bits.